Welcome to the impromptu part 3 of this daily, because it crashed at the end of part 2. For some reason, but that's fine. In part 1, we looked at sort of what was going on in the guts of this transition, where we just sort of went right past biomine into this really cool composition. A little bit of Hellbat Thor never hurt anybody, especially never hurt Apocalypse. So that went down, so that's cool. We got the chance to see how it was working. We got the chance to see that Apocalypse is flooding a lot of Marines and a lot of cool stuff. But then, in this game, we're seeing the real core issue. That it's hard to actually get momentum with this build, or excuse me, with this transition, if you didn't pick it up in some other way. So I'm actually going to pull back to this 10-minute mark-ish, so we can almost see what the goal was. Look at this Apocalypse. How's he trying to get momentum with this Banshee medevac play? Oh, nice. And then maybe he's going to move out with some Marine Mine and begin to gobble up some of this space like that. That's going to be awesome. But the Mutalisks show up and ruin his day. Very, very fast Mutalisks. I think a little bit of a misread. And then suddenly, 20 minutes later, there's still been almost no ability for Apocalypse to move out across the map. I mean, these drops almost don't count. So yeah, great. So what's an Apocalypse to do? He's just going to be building up the Doom Deathbringer composition and try to roll with it in one big force. We sort of knew that Mutalisks were going to be a problem in terms of this counterattack ability. And we have the luxury of being able to retreat relatively quickly to be able to push it off, but it still is delaying us so damn much. In other exciting and rad news, this is the sort of ultimate follow-up move from Apocalypse. That he's just going to get massive amounts of metal with this force, because he can at the very least get up a 4th base if he's sitting on his bum being passive. And then he's going to make the ultimate mixture that Suppy really can't be all that prepared for. Still just Baneling Zergling. And also, as we see 33 mutas with 70 Marines and 4 Thors, it's going to be hard for those mutas to really engage. The Banelings have to kill this off. Or they have to literally never attack. So we can sort of see where the momentum was lost, why it was lost, and then what the truly frowny consequences of this are. If you can split this well, I permit you to do anything you damn well please. And then we have a force that works great in small numbers. Thor, Hellbat, Marine, Marauder. You like my fire effects? Moved out just a little too soon. Coulda hung by the Thors. Zerglings ain't doing so hot. But Thors without Marine support don't have much to report. That's about all we have to say about this game. We can just see that, oh gosh, when this composition gets going, it's really good. You have to worry about one huge Baneling crash, then you're in good shape against the low numbers of Baneling crashes. You're in completely good shape. You have to be able to get here and be able to do that first big push quickly without losing a lot of momentum. Otherwise, this junk happens. This malarkey, this crud, this crap, this depressing, miserable ball of suck. Ugh. Yeah, okay, he's dead. Last but not least, we're going to watch the final game in this mixture. Acheron Wastes between Apocalypse and Suppy. For a look at a very odd opening from Apocalypse. We'll just do it real fast so we'll have plenty of time for the questions. We'll get the opportunity to see a super weird opening from Apocalypse, and also sort of witness the same general methodology where the problem areas could occur, and how Apocalypse is able to get his way out of things. Alright, Reaper, first and foremost. Times aiding it. Another Reaper. Command center. Throughout all this, just bear in mind how safe these openings are against varying all-ins. Because the fact that we're getting a starport so fast, because we're blindly getting a lot of mines very quickly, because our Reapers are getting a good sense of whether gas geysers are down or whether they're just starting. Alright, who remembers Hellion Banshee? Who remembers Hellion Banshee? Apocalypse remembers Hellion Banshee. No cloak, I wonder why. No second gas, I also wonder why. 3 command centers seems to make sense. But what on earth is this doing? 4 Hellions and a Reaper. Very cool little mind game going to be coming up. Oh yeah, that's right. The 10 Hellion bust. Bring some Marines. 10 Hellion. 10 SCV. Now we still see all the extra barracks getting produced. We don't see a lot of the early defense up for Suppy, because it's virtually impossible to have said early defense up. This is a nice push. You can see that this massive number of Hellions picks off the Zerglings very well, and the Banshee does a little bit of extra damage we need to kill off the Queens. Now, why would this be a significant thing to look at, this opening? Because it gives Apocalypse this time he needs to get some momentum. Because we saw him just peter out and die in the second game. I mean, this is going to be enough. But if Apocalypse, for instance, walked in and thought, you know what, I'm not really going to be able to do that much more damage in this game. I'm really not. Can halt this production here. Halt this production here. Go straight into these barracks. Churning units out. Doesn't even have to really get any mines, because one of the big reasons we go biomine before transitioning into this is because it's a way to apply pressure and to gain a little momentum. So even though, I mean, Suppy is totally screwed, this last game's kind of a funny demonstration of how much momentum falls away. I think those were the Hellions dealing a little bit of damage. But alright, so Apocalypse, does he have stim? No. Starting combat shield. And soon enough stim. Has to ring turrets all frick the way over everywhere. Alright. We have mines burrowed very, 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 very defensively. Alright, we're killing this off to be able to take this base. But look at how very, very, very defensive Apocalypse is having to be. Getting the defense up. Now, a little drop here is fine if the goal is to get the Mutalisks out of the way and then do a push. But I think a drop just for the sake of trying to drop is almost always going to be good for Zerg. Zerg's going to, like, be very happy. This drop, I love. This is the drop I'm talking about. That top one, nah. This bottom one, ooh. With biomine. This is a very nice opportunity. Because here we can begin adding on our second factory. We're already getting our armory upgrades. We can easily begin that transition. And in this position, Apocalypse is going to just be continuing to go for a lot of biomine, as we see. But if in this position, on the back side of this, was that force, that thor+hellbat follow-up. Look at the horrible position that Suppy's in without having gas geysers. Now, normally, if there was only some damage dealt, you could expect these gas geysers to be late. So you'd still kind of be leveraging the same benefit. Alright. Go, Suppy. Getting the Banelings. I'm so impressed that Suppy was able to end this game up after everything that went down. But that always makes sense whenever Stim is that delayed. And this was just the nail in the coffin. I'm kind of noting these huge delays in Apocalypse's game plan, because that is the big issue that any transition into thor+hellbat will certainly have. But I kind of like this, where he's like, alright, I think I have the edge. Let me just get so many barracks, it doesn't make any sense. And he's going to win with biomine. Yeah. Actually, you know, I think that's all I really want to say. Let's take questions. Subscribers off. Wow, can't connect to chat. What do you know? Wonder why chat's going so busto today. I don't have a chat. So in game 1 and 2, I guess I'll recap while I wait for chat. Yeah, in the first two games we saw this like very light use of biomine to step right into this cool little mix. Game 1 worked very well, worked everything according to plan and that sort of thing. Yeah, it worked really well, everything according to plan and all that sort of thing. The pushes at the start with the Marines and mines and all that, the Marines and just a few mines, were enough to sweep out the surrounding creep area. So this provided a really nice... I actually have no idea why I can't see my chat. Can anyone see my chat? Hey, Lady LaFice, if you could, like, try to turn off sub mode and paste questions to me, that'd be good. Any reasonable Dear Day 9 question. Actually, any unreasonable question's fine, too. Growing a little beardiness. Huh, can't see anything. Alright, Lady LaFice, turn off subscribers mode and begin pasting Dear Day 9 questions to me. Come on, Lady LaFice, do it. Alright, if anyone can turn off subscribers only mode. Lady LaFice, paste chat questions to me. Just in Skype. In Skype. Over here. Paste it to me. Oh shit, there's my chat. Ah, it's a flood. Blargson says Day 9. If StarCraft ceased being a popular game, would you still make a daily show? Dude, like, I started this in Brood War. If you want to talk about a non-popular game, daily has always been and will always be because I enjoy doing it, and that's about that. If I feel like doing something else, I'll certainly do that, but popularity was never even a question. Day 9, why do gummy bears give you gas? It's the Perrier with the nachos, and the gummy bears in there. It's a real big pain. I don't know why. Let's see. Entity says, what do you feel about mech in the Heart of the Swarm meta? Do you think they should do more to balance it, or just go ahead and add units to Legacy of the Void? Yeah, I don't know. Mech's in like the weirdest position. I don't even know why you would go mech. Truly, I have like no idea. People are like right outside my room talking. Well, what would make mech really good? I think the big thing is that mech just needs a fast unit that's useful. Because Hellions are not... They're just not really useful. I mean, they like... Hellions, like, function really well in a box if the box is presented to it. Like, if there's a lot of light units, Hellions are really good at that. Trying to think if... Yeah, I mean, if Zerglings show up, they'll be fine. If Zealots show up, they'll be fine. And if Workers show up, they'll be real fine. But, like, they can't do anything else. Vultures were really cool, because you could, like, plant mines, and that's doing really good things. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big reason. Yeah, Mech and Brood War had Vultures and the Science Vessel. I mean, right now, Mech here just has... I'm trying to think of what even would you make. Thor W says, Mech is bad because Bio is more efficient. Bio is not more efficient than Mech. Well, it depends on how you're using the word efficient. This is in terms of, like, dollars spent versus dollars of stuff you can kill. Mech beats pretty much, like, every composition. But you just overwhelm it, and you just expand 50 times, and they can't really do that much about it. What's the longest you've ever grown your beard? Man, I'm doing useless questions today. I don't know what it has been this week, but I'm tired. I was like so tired this week. Maybe it's because I ran today? Gosh, I'm tired. Sacred Sun says, Dan, in the second game we see Suppy change it up with less mutalisks. Wait, the second game? In the second game he got more mutalisks than the other two. Let's take this from Haunodiram. Dan, why weren't roaches built instead of fast mutalisks? To minimize damage done by Hellion in the last game. That's a style that I've been seeing Suppy do a lot, where most of the time Zergs are delaying the layer, favoring getting the third base up, and then sticking more with like general Lingy Roachy defense, or just Lingy. Instead, Suppy goes for very fast mutalisks, and he deals with the super early threats by getting queens and some Zerglings up, and with the later round threats with the super fast mutalisks. We saw Game 2 be an amazing example of that, where he killed the stuff off really, really easily. So that's, I mean, it's pretty cool, interesting, good style. It allows you to be aggressive right off the bat, but the reason he didn't get any roaches in this last game is because he just was going for the mutalisks. I'm going to take one more, I'm just going to stop. Actually, okay, I have a question for chat. There's so many words that are used that I don't quite... they're weird for me to try to wrap my head around. One of them is gimmicky. What does that mean? If you heard someone say, "Oh, that play was really gimmicky," what would you call that? Yeah. Gimmicky means cheesy. Come on, guys. Gimmicky means dirtily. Okay, what does cheesy mean then? Oh, high risk, high reward. That's actually a very solid way to say. Well, but is that really? Reliant on a specific thing that doesn't have much substance. Don't speak generally. Like, get specific. Utilizing a gimmick. Don't define the word in terms of itself. Say a statement. Don't just use words that don't mean anything. Gimmicky means unreliable. It's something you would pull out once in a while, but not all the time. I like this. Howl of Blind says, gimmicky is fun to watch, but seemingly an uncool experience for the loser of the match. There we go. Zero Kaiser, I think, is given the best definition I've seen, and perhaps one of the few ever seen thus far. Gimmicky is a game mousetrap, a strategy that relies on multiple fragile and novel things to come together properly to work. Uh-oh. Oh god, my chat crashed. That's so interesting to me, because I always hear and see people say, "Oh god, he's relying on such gimmicky play." And then I watched, and it's just a really solid play. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's hard because like I like saying it's you know, a bunch of novel things that are coming together, fragile, easy to botch. You know, like I assume that someone who would burrow 15 banelings at an expansion and just hope that all the SCVs get transferred there eventually and blows them up. But then I saw Lenok burrow just 2 and slaughter a whole bunch of SCVs really well. And people were like, just gimmicky. Cool. Alright, someone's pasting a big definition. I'm going to ban that person. Call it a show. We petered out. We're done. We'll see you tomorrow for Mirror's Edge. Thanks for tuning in all week. I was so tired, but it was just wonderful to have you. It's wonderful. I'm so happy you guys tuned in. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Alright, I'm going to mute. Here we go.